Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, episode 2 of our City Skylines city build. Today we have a power problem and we have to fix this. Let's look at our infograph. We're in the yellow. These guys are complaining, oh, I don't have any power. We can fix that very easily. Let's pop in another wind turbine. And I know this looks like a lot of wind turbines, and it is, but eventually we are going to get this guy here, advanced wind turbine. We can solve all of our power problems until we unlock the solar power plant. We are not going to burn fossil fuels. This is modern day. We don't need to burn fossil fuels anymore. Okay, so I got a tile space to buy. So let's go out to the map view. And I have lots of cash to do this, and I want to start planning on what we're going to do here. We have a tile this way and we've got a tile this way, and I don't know which way it's going to go from there. We might end up getting one over here, or maybe go down further toward this neat interchange right there with the trains. This one has highway access, this one has train access. It's a tough choice. It's a tough choice. I don't like going over the freeway right away because that creates its own issues as far as traffic is concerned. So I think what we're going to do is expand out to this side. That'll give us access to the north-south highway, and we can get involved in the main interchange. We'll probably grab this one. It'll give us another water source, and it likely is going to give us some forestry industry on this side, even though we've got tons of it over there. We're eventually going to want to develop this into some sort of a waterfront ritzy residential area, or maybe a ton of cargo and shipping. Who knows? We'll see where it goes. I think we would go with this one for the time being. So we can just expand a nice industry area right over here, keep our central business district around here, and then pull the residential to the waterfront. Have some non-polluting forestry industry down here. I think it'll work out nice. This one's cheap. Let's see what it doesn't have. It doesn't have a ship connection. We know that because it's interior water. And it doesn't have rail, which is fine because we're going to buy this southern one eventually. So we'll purchase that one. Not going to develop it right away. We don't, look at all the room we still have. We don't have any reason to start developing over this way just now, other than we're going to make kind of a bit of a bubble over here for our industrial area. So, power problem solved? Yes, it'll be solved here in just a second once that wind turbine gets up and running. And we left off here with this zoning of industry. Of tons of industrial demand at this point. Do we have water pipes? Yes, we do. What we need to do now is try to do this as efficiently as possible, and we'll just pull one of these like that, and we'll grab another one here. Oh, we're not doing that efficiently, are we? We're gonna have some overlap. This is fine. I don't really care about making a really clean pipe layout in my cities. You're eventually going to fill the whole thing, and it's not going to matter one way or the other. Okay, let's get zoning, and we're going to get guys moving in here right away. So I'm going to go off the main road. Eventually this road is going to be like a 6-lane, big capacity road. You want to have kind of things, either interior avenues like a big 6-lane, or a surrounding avenue, or train access, or whatever, but you need to think early about where your arteries of your city are going to be. These are like, think of these as like little capillary blood vessels or whatever they're called. These are just little access roads to areas that not everybody's going to want to travel to. If you don't live down here, you're not going to be going down here. These areas, however, these big roads are like the arteries in your body. You have to make sure these stay unclogged, or your city is going to have a heart attack. So we are definitely going to have one big arterial road down this way. We'll likely wrap it back up this way, bring it in probably about there. Then we're going to have a couple central ones that will access the outer roads, and then we'll have smaller avenues and streets on the interior. But for now, we're going to keep this in mind, that we don't want to develop along the street too much, because this needs to expand, and we're going to have to bust all this down anyway. In that respect, let's start zoning this down here instead of on the street level. The one thing this thing is not going to have is power. So we need to grab the power, not a wind turbine, thank you. And we will, this is what we're going to do. We're going to cheat the system here. We're going to grab an industrial zone to pull in the power temporarily. Temporarily transfer the power. As soon as this develops, then the power will come onto the interior. Okay, so we'll keep doing this interior industrial zoning. We got guys coming in already. They're chomping at the bit to set up industry in our town. Do a nice big one here. Let's do a few little other roads into this area because we need to fill up this space just a touch. So we'll do that. Let's do a little bit of a kind of a suburban style road. And I'll do a little diamond pattern there. That's kind of cool. We'll leave a little interior space. That's no problem. We don't have to be too concerned about filling everything up. Let's for now not zone this outer one. Let's just zone the inner stuff. Okay, that's kind of neat. Little diamond pattern. This is kind of a weird looking industrial area. A lot of times, you know, in real life, an industrial area is a grid essentially, but that's really boring to do in these games. So we brought the power in via this zone here. As you can see, the cable brought it in. We'll just leave that guy there for now. He's not hurting anybody. Once we decide to change this into the main artery, we'll just bust that out. No big deal. Look what's happening up here. We've got crime galore. Crime. We got to get a police station in. Let's grab a cop shop. You see how the road is? Let's just pause this for a sec so we can see. If you put it in the interior of this, all the roads are green. If you come over to this side, you can see to the left there that the road is a little darker color. That means the cops have a little bit harder time getting over there. There's no problem with having one of these little small community police stations right in a residential area. I know it doesn't typically happen in real life. You're not going to find a police station right in the middle of a residential area. They're typically in the commercial areas. But these little community ones sometimes are. So don't feel too, you know, realism breaching by sticking one down there. And you get better coverage doing it in the residential areas. Everybody's happy. All these criminals can take off. The cops are here now. We are okay in that respect. What does an elementary school cost us? $10,000, and we could afford it as far as income is concerned. Elementary schools very typically in residential areas, so this is fairly realistic to have this done. Let's look at the coverage here. Fairly good coverage. If we moved it over here, not too much better. We could put it right at the edge of this street. That's pretty good coverage there. Let's put it right there. And it did knock those couple of houses down, but something will rebuild in there, no problem. And if it doesn't, then we put some pedestrian paths and make it a nice little park area in the back. So all of our criminals are gone, which is nice. Let's see how the elementary school is doing. 33 students so far. It's kind of neat because you can, let's see if we can find somebody walking to school. I found a guy the other day that walked for like, man, I mean, in game time it was like 5 days to get to school, but it was a long walk. Let's see if this guy's going. He is going to the elementary school, or he was from the elementary school. Now he's going home. Let's see where this guy lives. Let's follow him. Just going home from school. All these cars, everything in this game is owned by a sim. All of the sims are 100% simulated people, essentially. When you know, Sim City, whatever, the game was simulated in the sense that people had jobs and houses and whatever, but the realism wasn't there because they would disappear and whatnot. If I were to stay and watch this kid will come back, this very same kid will come back out of this house and go to school tomorrow. Or whatever. I mean, it's not exactly tomorrow as the game time is concerned, but he'll permanently live here. His parents permanently live there. People will permanently have a car. See, this is Katie Crowley's car, and Katie Crowley lives right there. She's parked in front of her house. That's why this game is so CPU intensive, because these people are constantly being simulated. Got some mopeds going on, man. This is so cool. Look at the cops patrolling. Okay, how many students we have now? 181 students. The enrollment is getting crazy. Let's look at their playground in the back here. Got a swing set and a merry-go-round, a little jungle gym. Hey, look at these kids are sitting on the bench out here. Why don't you go to class? Can you click on these? Yep. Uneducated child. That's exactly why you're uneducated, is because you're sitting on a bench outside of the school. All right. How is our demand doing? We've got some commercial demand, haven't we? Let's put in our first artery. I think it's time to do that. Let's grab a 4-lane road and we'll pull it across. Again, let's not do straight roads. Those are so boring. Let's do something like this, a really sweepy curve right to the center of town. And then we can just kind of come down a bit with it. Let's do a little S, why not? We did that in the industrial area. Let's do a little S. That's not a very good looking S curve though, is it? Let's try that again. A little less on the angle. So let's do that. And it still doesn't look good. We gotta bring this around a little bit more, I think. I should have just continued that road before. This is gonna be difficult now. Come straight like this. Okay, that's a bit better. Let's pull that down and we'll try to S off of this. Straight out. And yep, that's kind of a cool S. Let's bring it right 90 degrees. Boom. Then we can put this over to the side and back up later on. That's gonna look kind of neat. We got kind of like an octopus tentacly system going on here, haven't we? Yeah, that's kind of cool. So the main sort of theory of arterial roads is that you want to break down the traffic. And oh, we severed our power line. Let's fix that. We severed our power line. Let's pull that over. Don't want these guys to be without power. So arterial roads, you want to break them down. This is at this stage of the game, this is a heavy traffic road. You want to pull like a couple 2 lanes off of here. Like one that will come, say, right there and into this. Again, you don't want too many intersections. Where would we button into the power line there? Let's try this again. You do not want too many intersections in your town. Let's make a little bit of a curve on this. There we go. So the arterial road will split into a smaller road, which then will split into a local traffic road. This is going to connect an area to the main artery so that they don't have to come back out this way and then come back down. They can just pop down this way. We then would say, take this road and break off like a local residence road, right? So this would be like a residential area that sort of comes around. This is kind of cool. Let's do that anyway. Put that down right there. So there's a residential area. And then you can break it off even further. You know, say this is already a local road. No, this is a really, really local road. So you're going to see like traffic is really, you know, mellow on these types of roads. And this is how you break down the traffic. You don't want everybody coming through your off arterial roads. You can do even one better than that. And that is to zone or to build a one-way road. So let's say this is going to be our commercial central business district. Every town's got a central business district. Let's get snapping back on so that this is a little straighter. So we've got a road that comes in like this. We need this to be straight. Thank you. Yeah, okay. Not enough money. I don't have enough money for this. I'll show you this in a minute. Let's get the game rolling again so I get some income. What are the complaints here? They don't have workers. They want residences. So, do we have any residential zoning available? No. Good thing we made this new area. Let's zone this up. Again, I'm going to try to keep the zoning away from the main roads. So not on the arteries for now and not on the feeder roads. We're just going to put them on the local traffic roads. These guys need water. We got to get some water to them. Let's go over this way first, down, and we'll go up. Lots of overlap, don't care. These guys, this sign means that they don't have any workers. So you can see they're very short on workers. Not enough workers, 4 of 16. If you let that happen too long, your industry will abandon their building. And so you need to make sure that when you have industry looking for workers, that you get new people coming in all the time. You got to increase your population. So I ignored the residential demand there for a while just to show off some things, but you shouldn't ignore the residential demand because it impacts on everything. It impacts on the commercial customers. It impacts on the workers for the industrial zones. Lots of impact. I want to make this central business district, but because we have a little bit of commercial demand here, I'm just going to zone in a little bit before we get working on that area. Let's ensure that they have water, and they do. These guys still don't have workers. They're getting there. Some people moved in. Do we have any more? Yeah, there's still more to go. We're okay. Let's look at doing this central business district now. So we have our main arterial road. Later in the game, this will be a 6-lane, then you'll break it down to an avenue, then you'll break it down to a 2-way. But what we're going to do here, stick in a, these are running a little low on cash. We may take a loan here right away. Let's stick in this road. How much can we afford? No, you know what? Let's get a loan. There's no problem in getting a loan. Okay, now we've got the cash to do what we want to do. Let's pull this in. This is going to be like kind of an avenue, a replacement avenue for now. It'll be bigger later in the game. One-way roads are super efficient traffic-wise, but you have to ensure that you make a loop, because if you have a one-way road and it ends up nowhere and traffic can't move, then you're kind of SOL. So you need to make a bit of a loop. So we'll do this. We'll pull it over just a little bit here. Let's go right about there. And boom. So now traffic moves like this and comes out. Very efficient traffic flow. We're going to grab some commercial and stick it in there. This is the start of our central business district, which will be on both sides of this main arterial road. Eventually, the industry is going to move away, so don't worry too much about that for now. And we couldn't get a really good zoning in there because of that stupid power line. So let's just pause for just a sec, and we're going to move this power line somewhere else. Let's just reroute it to the south. Let's just pull that down there and connect again there. So I want to get a good commercial zone going on right there. And we'll zone this little bit on the one way and this side. Let's make sure these guys have water because they will not be happy without it. Let's pull this pipe from a little higher. And we'll go down and we'll go across. Okay. Let's start the game up again. Immediately got a hit in that commercial zone. We'll just speed it up to get some development. Looks like we are going to have to do some more residential zoning. We've only got a couple residential spots left, so let's continue on our little curvy road. Just slow this down just a touch. Don't get too ahead of yourself and speed the game up, because that can really have a detrimental effect on your city. Let's continue on with this curve, and we'll attach this road to over there, so we got a nice little crescent area. Grab this. We're going to zone all of this stuff. No point in not zoning it. Just like that. Okay. And we're going to need another feeder road off of here. So let's grab it and we'll start pulling it a little bit down. And eventually we're going to try to curve it back just around, kind of back towards this way. So let's pull it down there. And actually, we're going to connect this one on to the main avenue. That's a nice break from the arterial road. Then we've got all of this area to zone in kind of a suburban residential. Look at, we're running out of power again. Always important to check your info to see if you're running out of power. I'll check the water one here in just a second as well. Let's not break that line. Slope too steep. Boom, right there. Get off of there. Okay, let's check water as well. How we doing? Oh, we're super good on water. Garbage status, let's see. Garbage, everybody's good on garbage right now. That's perfectly fine. Happiness, 43. This goes up fairly quickly, so don't worry too much. Let's check education. This is going to happen, and don't be too concerned about your education of your early population. The adults that come into the city that are not educated don't typically go back to elementary school and educate themselves. So don't worry about this. If your town is like getting big, like it's 25,000 people, and your people are still uneducated, then you've got issues. But right now, don't worry about this. Just look at the school availability. We are still okay on school availability. We don't have a high school yet. That's fine. I don't even think we've unlocked a high school. So we don't even have that option at this point. Just look at your education availability at the early game. And we're doing fine as far as that's concerned. We will have to upgrade it soon enough, though, because there's only 70 spots left. How is our commercial district looking? So we've got a few that moved in. Our main road is looking okay. We've got a fire, so let's get a... Oh, we don't have enough money. Have we paid back our loan yet? That's the question. Nope, we still have some payments left to go. Let's speed this up. This building's gonna burn, let it burn. Who cares? It's not gonna start the whole block on fire like in Sim City. They obviously have improved their technology of fireproofing. So it's not important. Well, it is important to not let your buildings burn down because people don't like it and you get abandoned buildings. But anyway, hey, we just got our high school. We got decorations, which are important for happiness and raising land value. Pet ban. Why would I ever ban pets? I mean, that's just terrible. Smoking ban. Not going to do that either. Like, a bit of a libertarian here, guys. When we get the city policies, which we do have, first thing I'm going to do. Can I legalize? I can't legalize yet. I'm going to legalize eventually. Wait, can I, was that on the policy screen there? Yeah, okay. Can't legalize. I will legalize as soon as possible. Let's have a look at how we're doing. All of our demands are kind of low. We have enough for a fire station now? We do. So let's see, where's the best coverage? That's not bad. That's pretty good, actually. It doesn't hit our industrial zone, but I don't care. They're polluting jerks anyway. Having a neighborhood fire station, very common. This doesn't break realism. I don't like when things break realism, like when you have to put like 3 high schools in a block to raise your education. That sort of thing I try to avoid in city builders. But having a fire station in a residential area is perfectly acceptable. Okay, let's have a look. We still have a bit of commercial to go. Demand, not so great. Let's think about what we're going to do here on this suburban area. I think what we want to do is break this down just a little bit more. Since we've already got an intersection here, I think we'll pull this up. Let's make a curve kind of going the other way this time. Do that, and let's make a crescent. Let's make a crescent area. And do that there. Right there. That's a nice crescent. And let's do an interior street. Just something simple. Not a curve, just straight away. Okay. Then, well, are we having water issues or is that a piping? That's a piping issue, no problem. Just like that. Okay, let's get to filling in this area just a bit. I don't like making intersections in the residential areas. Like, I wouldn't make a road coming like that. It's better if you do it, like, pull it from here, right? Because these things don't create controlled traffic. They don't have a stoplight. They don't have a stop sign. But when you do this, watch what happens. Oh, if I could get the tool right. Oh, it didn't do it. Oh, it must only be from avenues. I guess if you join avenues like that, then it creates a stoplight. So that's not too bad. But why have 4-way traffic when you can have just 3-way traffic? So I like to pull them from the interior spaces. And we'll pull this one like just kind of going deep there. And then we'll have a couple little straight juts in. Just kind of bordering like that. And like that. And a little interior. That's going to be a nice quiet area because no cars are going to drive down there. So let's give them some water because they're going to need that. Pull it down right from there. We'll do a midline one. And then we'll pull it back in. Or are we going to have just a tiny little bit missing? Nope, not if we do it that way. Grab it down this way. Let's see. Yeah, just like this. Cover the rest of that off. There's still some down here we need to do, but that is okay for now. And we will just zone the heck out of this place because we have a lot of residential demand right now. Eventually this is going to look a lot more filled in than it is because we're going to have some mix of high density like apartment buildings, those sorts of things, and we'll have parks and we'll have trees, but for now I just want to get the city kind of up and running, get enough population that we can do some cool things and have some money. And so that's kind of what I'm shooting for at this point. We'll come back and beautify everything a little later on. I don't want to do too much development on this main road. We're going to stick to the interior roads a little bit, just to keep traffic off. Definitely gonna get our crescent here. This is kind of a neat place. Oh, didn't want to do that. Let's just D-zone that with the paintbrush. And back to marquee tool. I don't know if anybody will live in these little tiny little spaces or not. Not sure. What could you build in there? Like a shack? Somebody want to live in a shack? Let's just D-zone this, and we'll D-zone that, just to keep that corner kind of clear. That looks good. Oh, we missed a little bit right here. Cool. Okay, we got it. We got, oh, little guy right there. We got a D-zone. How's that looking? We're running out of power again. We gotta get, oh, we don't even have any cash for it though. Gotta give it some time. We'll let them brown out for a while. This isn't gonna take too long. Brownouts galore. People are not going to be happy. There we go. Let's just pause so that they can keep their unhappiness to themselves. Don't want to break that power line. Right there. Okay. Let's turn that on and watch their power woes go away. This is the trouble of keeping the game at a fast speed, is sometimes you miss stuff when you're out doing more interesting things. Hey, we are not even close to a grid, are we? This is crazy business. We're gonna grid this up a little bit more later on when we have our arterial roads in, but for now this is fine. This is like a suburb, right? This kind of looks like every North American suburb in the world. Anyway, guys, I think that's going to be the episode for today. Next time, we're going to work a little bit more on our central business district and getting this populated. And stay tuned for the next episode. Bye-bye.